Hey, Knoptop here. I was just coming out from under my rock and I have an assortment of mini little tripods. Not just mini tripods, mini little tripods. These are some of my favorite little tripods for microphone stands or mobile devices and small point and shoot cameras. Does anyone use point and shoot cameras anymore? These are little tripods that I've accumulated over the years. And one of these I find myself using over and over again. I have it with me all the time. And that one is one that I'll cover a little bit later in the video, so keep watching. These tripods range in price, but most of them are under $10. This one might be a little bit more, and we'll talk about that later, but let's just get right into it. This one is probably the most heavy duty. This tripod folds into a pistol grip, and you can hear it clicking. That is, I mean, this thing has some serious holding power. This will hold a legit DSLR Micro Four Thirds full-size camera, but it'll also be small and portable and posable enough for a mobile phone or a microphone. I like this one. I've never used it, mostly because it just seems so bulky. Even though it's not much larger than some of these, it's just the size of it just is cumbersome. And another major thing is when this thing is in pistol grip mode, depending on the type of camera you have, it sort of looks like a gun. And for me, I just never felt comfortable walking around like this, especially if it has like an H1 on the top of it. One of my favorite things about this is legit as far as this holding power of this. I mean, I'm pushing down on that really hard. So this one is nice. It's not my favorite. I've never used it. I bought it because I thought I would. It doesn't have any tripod mounts on it or anything like that. It is handy because it will hold a full range of cameras all the way up to full-size cameras. This is available in a variety of brands. There's no specific brand name on this, and a lot of times it'll come with additional attachments. And all these tripods are going to be linked in the description of this video, so be sure to check that out. This one is one that I got with a kit lens, and this is just like a little Zeitkos brand. They call these spider legs, and you can see it poses. You could probably, I don't think they bend enough to pose around a tree like this Joby pod that we'll talk about in a second, but it is adjustable enough, and it's got a little clip that you can just clip it right here on your shirt. There's really no reason I haven't used this more often. Spider bendy legs tripod. That's the technical name for it. This tripod right here is a tripod that was available at the Dollar Tree years ago, and I haven't seen them more recently, fortunately, but they are available online. And this one is probably the most versatile because it has a tightening ball head on the top with an adjuster. But one of the unique things about one of these tripods, if you ever see one out in the stores or online, you might not know about this. They extend. It's the only tripod here that extends other than this one. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But that is amazing. And with this ball head, this was such a good deal at the Dollar Tree for $1. It's amazing. It's unfortunate they don't have them there. Hopefully they'll get them back. If you're ever out at the Dollar Tree or anything, keep an eye out for one of these. These are one of the coolest little tripods. I bought a couple of these just to have them with me. And you can see here where you can use it like a selfie stick, pose it, kind of cool. This next one is a really cool one. This one folds up. And the reason I'm not saying the brand names of some of these is because they don't really have any brand names. They're available in all different name brands. I featured this one a long time ago in one of my videos. Now, I didn't mention this, but this one's made out of aluminum and plastic parts. This one's made out of metal and plastic parts. This one's plastic, and this one's plastic. I've talked about this tripod in the past. You can check out that video, but I'll just tell you right here. One of the reasons I like this, it's so small, but it will hold a heavier camera because it gets to a point where it locks and it won't go any further. Now you can see here, if I put these side by side, this one's a lot thinner, and it can also be used as a pistol grip if you're going around with a boom mic or if you had a camera that you wanted to hold like that. But it can also be opened up. Very similar to that one, but much smaller and a lot cheaper. This one's a familiar one, a Joby Mini Gorilla Pod. Now there are generic brands of these. This one's probably the most expensive out of all these, and couple of things that I like about it and a lot of things I don't. One is the price is just really expensive for what it is. But for action cam mounting, I mean, you can wrap this around tree limbs. It's posable for different types of environments, so you can really get it to sit where you need it. But the thing I don't like about it is these smaller little ball joints have a tendency of popping out and getting really loose. This one I have right here, this is another one I got at the Goodwill. It's losing its tension, and so it doesn't really hold position that well. So it's very limited on the weight that you can put on the top because there is no locking parts on this. The other thing that I don't like about these, and you'll see right here, the 1/4-20 adapter. It's a sliding plate, and it's the only size. There's no other Gorilla Pods that are this small, so it doesn't slide into other larger designs. It's only for this small one. If you lose this, you're done, and that's pretty much what happened here. It slid out, I don't know where it is, and so can't really use this for anything. The only time I've ever used this is I've taped this up on things. This last one here, this one is a Targus, but again, this is another tripod that comes in a bunch of different brand names. It's in this lineup because of the size. I would consider it small to medium, but unlike these other ones, this thing extends to almost 4 feet tall, which is amazing. Here, make some room. You can put a pretty significant weighted camera on there, but it also has this ball head tightener that allows you to turn it sideways, tighten it down, horizontal, and you can extend it to different heights, all the way up to 4 feet. This is sort of an honorable mention. I'm not gonna keep this in the lineup of these mini tripods, but I did want to share it with you because if you ever see one of these out at the Goodwill or online somewhere, keep in mind that it does extend to over 4 feet. Now there is one other tripod that I wanted to mention real quick. It's sort of a tripod pistol grip, the Waxom Slingshot. Can you figure out why they call it that? And it has a little folding tripod setup. It was really cool. I thought it was a neat Kickstarter project and I funded it. It was available on Amazon and B&H, but I haven't seen them around anymore. I have it with me. I wanted to mention it to you just because it was a unique design. The thing I don't like about this is the same thing that this Joby tripod suffers from, which is a ball head that doesn't have a tightener. So it really does depend on the weight of the camera that you have in the end here as far as the limitations of it. Generally, this is only going to hold a phone in this mount right here. And unfortunately, it's going to be like an iPhone 5 or smaller. Larger phones don't fit in this. This is a design from a few years back. But the cool thing is this unscrews and any adapter can be put on there. You could put on a little cheap phone spring mount and it works just like a regular tripod or a pistol grip. If you want to look it up, it's the Waxom Slingshot. It'll be in the description of this video if you can check out those links. That is a serious sunset right there. So the sun's going down, it's getting dark. Which one is my favorite? Well, this one with the extending legs and the ball head is amazing. And this has some components on it that you can reuse. This little spinner right here, you can repurpose that and use that in other 1/4-20 mounts. But my favorite is this, the little folding tripod. I don't know why, I like it. I carry it with me everywhere I go. I use it almost every time I set up my Zoom H1. It might not be the best one out of all these, but for whatever reason, I just like how clean it looks. And it's never broke or anything, even though it is made out of plastic constructions. That's my selection. Which one of these are your favorite? Do you use one of these? Would you use one of these? What is the point of having these in your bag? Anyways, mini little tripods. I hope this was helpful and useful for you. I hope you saw something here that might catch your interest and you can look into it more. Thanks for watching. Knoptop, go make something.